Hey everyone, Connor Whitmore here, the internet's busiest dark electronic music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Carbin EP, The Formula. Nah, honestly, I couldn't keep that accent up for any longer. Carbin, real name McKenzie Morrow, is a Portland-based musician whose production stretches back only a few years into around 2015, and who has recently shot to fame in the last couple of months or so, having toured with Firepower Records owner Datsik on his Ninja Nation tour. In the time he has been producing, he has released an EP on the Nawtystep network, whilst providing remixes for the likes of Lumberjack, Minesweeper and Riot 10, to name but a few. And in those years, his sole release for Firepower had been the track GOMD on Volume 6 of the Flatline compilation series. But now Morrow is here with his first multi-track project for the heavyweight label, ready and raring to unleash some dubstep madness to the craving masses. And I was definitely looking forward to this one a lot because I had been really enjoying what he was releasing in the lead up to this EP. Tracks like Mob with Dirty Audio, or Boss with AFK, implementing those cutesy, pointed dubstep synths into those simple but booming backdrops. But as Carbin takes matters more into his own hands here with this EP, experimentation within the tracks individually is something evidently rife throughout. Because one of the main things with the formula is following the first drops with more staggered and stretched out sequences, signalling a love for variety and willingness to change things up. In all 5 tracks there are switches in either the note placement or the pitch, so this is the aspect that pushes itself forward as the EP's biggest selling point. It is arguably most felt in the second track, 20 to Life, which starts with a contained grating drop, stretched out and manipulated in the second, before coming through with a harder hitting, more electrifying third drop, with added notes and a higher energy, but still of the same essence. In the fourth track, All Night, moreover, the pitch change from high to low between the first and second drop works very well for the spooky, piercing sound created by Carbin here. Reminiscent somewhat of a couple of trap songs that Getter has put out in the last couple of years. And Carbin maintains this drop diversity well throughout the EP, but elsewhere I don't feel like the ideas quite match up to those previously discussed. In the introductory collaboration with Datsik, a really invigorated and forceful build leads towards a drop that is just a little bit tame. Speeding up for its second drop but just feeling a bit aimless, putting in notes wherever they can without lending much personality to it at all. I did like the concept of the third drop, but those staggered notes could have had a little bit more whip to them, pulling the listener this way and that even more. And with the third and fifth tracks, I just feel like a little bit more experimentation could have been had, mostly in terms of note placement, because these drops are relatively straightforward. But another huge selling point for the formula as a whole is undoubtedly its vocal usage, both samples and vocalists. The drawn out I'm in my sample at the beginning of the EP in the Datsik collaboration is quickened at the exact right points to get this EP off to that flying start. Whilst following the beautiful and awe-inspiring introduction of 20 to Life, the build-up possesses a sample that is brought further to the surface as it progresses. I'm still not entirely sure what it says, but it is fleshed out perfectly in the midst of that lead towards the drop. The third follows suit in terms of its spot-on placement, but it is in the fourth and fifth tracks that the vocals really come into their own in terms of character and personality. With the penultimate track, we have the catchy, snappy delivery over a hypnotic, trap-inspired beat from the legend that is Armani Reign. Then in the finale, although not credited, this vocal tells a real story through its tone alone, altering between saying "where are you going" and "where are we going" to encapsulate the dizzying nature of its drops very well. I also found these words quite pertinent coming at the end of the EP, as if to ask, where exactly is Carbin going with his music next, as the track leads blissfully off into the distance. And beyond those main points, whilst I would say I'm not too big on some of the ideas here, I think the sound design is pretty good throughout, and the transitions between different sections are managed very well. There are also a multitude of brilliant brief moments from beginning to end with these 5 tracks. Like the twinkly, eerie opening seconds of the EP, the feathery percussion in the midsection of 20 to Life, the grand, horn-led introduction of Not Your ID, or the original impacts of the drops in All Night. And briefly, shout out that track name, Not Your ID. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but it's definitely got my brain working. But in spite of these enjoyable moments, overall I wouldn't say the ideas on the EP quite reach far enough in terms of their ambition. The sounds of the ideas hint at excellence, but the way that they are used in their sequences and in the interaction between those sequences means that they don't compel the listener for the most part. As a result, and barring a couple of exceptions, these songs seem quite simple and without too much going for them as wholes, despite those wonderful snippets littered throughout. And so in terms of a favourite from the formula, I would have to either go for 22 Life or All Night. I like them equally, but for completely different reasons. The first for the impact in its simplicity, and the second, funnily enough, for its variety from start to finish. Both really hit in the right spots for me. And recommendation wise, I would check out Getter's trap influenced music, Boombox Cartel, Eliminate, Aerochord. Basically any artists that are good at bringing together the trap and dubstep styles to create those hybrid formats. And so that is that for Nawtystep's review on the new Carbin EP released on Firepower Records, The Formula. I hope you enjoyed this review and thank you very much for watching. Like and share this video, subscribe to the channel down to the left there, and leave a comment with your thoughts on The Formula. What did you guys make of it? Next to my head somewhere there should be some similar past videos for you to watch if you enjoyed this review. And don't forget to like and follow Nawtystep across all social media if you haven't already. With everything linked, including the recommendations, in the description box down below. And if it's naughty, then you know guys. So as always, keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see you all in the next one. Peace.